Hello, welcome to Cooking with Anna, and I'm Anna. Today we're going to be making some pumpkin snickerdoodles, which are really good. And I'm going to go through the process. The recipe will be listed below in the description. And I think that's it. Let's get to work. So in this bowl I have a stick of melted butter, which is half a cup of butter. And it's not super hot, which is what you want. You just want it warm enough to melt. There's still a few little chunkies in there, but it's warm enough to melt it completely. All right. Then to that, I am going to add half a cup of granulated sugar and a third of a cup of packed brown sugar. So I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I'll put it over here. It's still in the shape of the cup. So that's what you kind of want. You want something that's super packed in there. And then we're just going to take a silicone spoon. We're going to mix this all up. All right, so we just want to make sure that we incorporate this, get any of the chunks out from the brown sugar, because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes brown sugar can have some chunkies in them. It's splattered over here. All right, next we're gonna add our pumpkin. So this is, it's a little bit more than what it says, and that's only because otherwise I'd have a little bit left. But it said a quarter cup of pumpkin puree, which is about 73 grams. I have maybe like 85 grams in there. So I mean, it's just a little bit more, but it will still do the job. So next we're gonna incorporate that, make sure that's mixed in there really well. I'm so used to making cookies with a mixer, but this recipe didn't say anything about a mixer, so we're just going to do this by hand. There's still a large brown sugar chunky here. I must have missed. There we go. All right. So after that, we're going to add our egg yolk. And if you guys use a lot of egg yolks, I do recommend saving the egg whites, and you can throw them in a Ziploc bag and save them for like a meringue, or I use it for my buttercream. So that way I know that I have them and I don't have to buy egg whites. And then the recipe calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon. I like vanilla. We're just gonna go there. Okay, mix that up. All right. It's already smelling really good. So I'm gonna set this aside for a second. Next we're gonna do our flour mixture. So this is 1.5 cups of flour. And in this little bowl, I have 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. So we are gonna whisk this together. Try not to make a mess. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just so that you kind of get everything evenly distributed in there. And then bring this bowl back, and we're going to slowly add, maybe in 3 or 4 additions, we're going to add the flour mix. I love these cookies because they're super duper easy. They take almost no time at all. I think you actually spend more time letting them chill than you do making them. And they're probably be pretty good cookies to make for the holidays with the kids too. Because who doesn't love a good snickerdoodle? Alright. A couple more additions here. Just want to make sure you slowly start incorporating that in, because if you go too fast, yep, you throw flour everywhere. And I love this spoon because it's got like the silicone edges so you can scrub down the bowl while you're mixing. One of my favorite tools now. All right, last little bit. You'll notice that the batter will be a little bit, it won't be like regular cookie dough, like chocolate chip cookie dough or peanut butter cookie dough. It'll be a little bit looser than that. But after you get all the flour in there, oh, there's a spot right there. Make sure you incorporate all the flour. Okay. Clean off the spoon. Get the last of this little bit of flour in there. And then we're gonna cover this up. And we are gonna pop this in the fridge for 45 minutes. Or at least 45 minutes is what it says. So it does take a, like I said, it takes more time to let it chill than it does to make it. All right, that in there. I'm gonna put a piece of saran wrap over this and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge for 45 minutes. And then when I pull it out and we're ready to get baking, I will be right back. All right, so we're back. Like I said, 45 minutes in the fridge, and it makes it into a little bit of a thicker consistency. In this bowl, or not really a bowl, but in this container, I have a 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and this is going to be our coating. You just want to make sure that you mix it up pretty well. Get all the cinnamon distributed equally, because you don't want bites with no cinnamon, and then you don't want bites with only cinnamon. That could be weird. All right. I prefer to do this with gloves. You don't have to. It's just a personal preference of mine. And then I have this wonderful little cookie scoop. I believe it's an OXO cookie scoop. Yep. Love this thing. It's lasted for years, so I'm a big fan when something lasts that long. So I'm gonna scoop out, grab a scoop of cookie dough, ball it up, and then roll it around in the sugar, and plop it on the tray. So I think the last time I did this, I got about 20 cookies. So we'll see how many I get out of this one. I also got my oven started, set to 350. The thing that I like about this cookie scoop is that it makes very uniform sized cookies. So then you know they'll bake off evenly, you know they'll bake at the same time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish scooping all the cookies out. I got my sheet trays lined with parchment paper. You can use a silicone mat as well, that's up to you. But I definitely recommend not putting it directly on the sheet tray because they can stick. And I like a liner in there. So I mean, if you just feel like oiling down or spraying down your sheet tray, that could work. But I like the liners because they don't add anything. I'm gonna go ahead and finish scooping these cookies out, and as soon as I'm done, I'll hop back on and we'll pop them in the oven. And yeah, all right, so we're back. I got 20 cookies again. Oh, did I forget? I forgot to sugar one. Good thing I looked again. But yes, we got 20 cookies again. Make sure we put sugar on all of them. And I'm gonna pop them in the oven. I have preheated to 350. I'm gonna pop them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. Last time I did this, I had to do about 12 to 14, so we'll see how that goes. But I'll be sure to keep you posted. Of course, it depends on your oven as well. Some cook a lot quicker than others. But I'm gonna pop these in the oven, and as soon as they come out, I'll be right back. All right, so just pulled the cookies out of the oven just a few minutes ago. You do want to let them rest. I did bake them for 14 minutes instead of the 10 to 12 that it suggests. It seems like it gets a little bit of a better cook on it. Snickerdoodles can be deceiving, there we go, because they'll feel really, really soft, so they won't feel done, but they're done. And so you kind of just got to go off of time. So I'm going to go ahead and check this out. So you'll notice that the bottom is nice and brown. I know it like doesn't work with chewy behind me, but the bottom is nice and brown. Let's pop this one. Ooh. The perfect pumpkin snickerdoodle cookie. A couple of those with a glass of milk and you're set. Well, so that's it for pumpkin snickerdoodles. As far as Pinterest recipes go, 2 thumbs up on this one. And I will post, like I said, I'll post the link to it in the bottom. So I'm not taking credit for this recipe. It is a Pinterest recipe. We just wanted to try it out, see how it worked. And I fell in love with it, so I thought I'd share it with you. All right, so if you want to see more of my recipes and more of my recipe tastings, don't forget to subscribe to my page and share this with your friends as well. All right, thank you guys for watching and have a great rest of your day.